Hi everyone. For Aries Rising, the Venus-Jupiter conjunction on the 9th of June takes place in Cancer, in your fourth house, placing a strong spotlight on home, family, emotional security, private life, and your inner foundations. So, Cancer energy naturally seeks emotional connection, comfort, and belonging. So, this transit might encourage you to slow down and reconnect with people, spaces, or routines that genuinely nourish you emotionally. It can feel like a reminder that strength is not only about pushing forward, but also about knowing when to rest and allow yourself to feel supported. On a practical level, this might show up through redecorating, improving your home space, spending more time with family, reconnecting with long lost relatives, uh, positive developments connected to property or your living arrangements, as well as creating a calmer and more emotionally supportive environment, maybe hosting people at home, having visitors and guests, having emotional conversations with your family, or suddenly becoming more attached to blankets, plants, scented candles, or kitchen appliances that you absolutely did not need 2 weeks ago. So, Venus brings harmony, warmth, and connection, while Jupiter expands wherever it touches, opening space for emotional growth, support, and deeper awareness. So, together, these two planets in Cancer create strong desire to protect your peace and invest more energy into what truly feels meaningful and emotionally fulfilling for you. What makes this transit particularly significant for Aries rising is the deeper connection between the houses involved. So the conjunction takes place in your fourth house, which is ruled by the moon, while Jupiter rules your 12th house, where your moon is placed in Pisces. So this creates a form of what we call mutual reception between the moon and Jupiter, and link your emotional foundations, your subconscious mind, your intuition, and healing processes much more closer together. So, because of this, the transit might feel deeply emotional and reflective for you, even internally transformative. So, events connected to home and family or your private life might strongly affect your emotional state, while inner emotional shifts might begin influencing the way you approach relationships, security, and your living arrangements. So the moon in Pisces in the 12th house give Aries highly sensitive, intuitive, and emotionally absorbent inner world, even if this is not always visible externally. While Aries energy often appears direct, independent, and resilient on the surface, the Pisces moon in the 12th house can make you quietly process emotions on a much deeper level. During this period, emotions, memories, or intuitive insights that were previously sitting on the background might begin surfacing more strongly. This can increase emotional clarity, vivid dreams, create creativity, increase your intuition, or desire to be left alone. You might also become far more aware of how environments and other people's emotional energy might affect your own inner balance. So the trine from Venus and Jupiter in Cancer to the Moon in Pisces creates a flowing emotional connection between these energies and help you feel more relaxed in yourself. This might support your emotional understanding, compassion, forgiveness, or a sense of inner peace. Many Aries rising might feel more emotionally open, spiritually connected, or emotionally honest with themselves during that time. Venus also rules the second house in Taurus, which brings additional themes connected to self worth, values, finances, and emotional security into focus. As a result, this transit is not only about emotions or family matters, but also about recognizing what genuinely creates stability and peace in your life. both emotionally and materially. You might begin reassessing where your energy, times, and emotional investments are going, becoming more conscious of what truly supports your well being. And there can also be stronger desire to create a life that feels more authentic and emotionally stable rather than simply functional or externally stable. So at the same time, Algol in Taurus in the second house forms a sextile to the Venus Jupiter conjunction, adding more emotional honesty and deeper awareness around themes of security, value, and self worth. This energy might work subtly in the background, helping you to recognize what deserves your emotional energy and what might drain it. And meanwhile, Chiron in Aries in the first house receives a square from the conjunction, which highlights themes connected to your identity, your confidence, your vulnerability, and the pressure to always appear strong or self sufficient. Some, maybe old insecurities might surface more clearly during this period, particularly around self worth or emotional independence. However, this transit is not here to diminish your confidence. It's more about encouraging a more compassionate relationship with yourself. There might be moments where vulnerability becomes easier to acknowledge, allowing more emotional honesty, self acceptance, and personal growth to emerge. And sometimes healing begins when you realize that you no longer need to carry everything alone. So overall, this Venus Jupiter conjunction in Cancer feels deeply emotional, reflective, and personally meaningful for many Aries risings. Um, it is not simply about external comfort, but more about connecting with yourself on a deeper level and creating life that genuinely support your emotional well-being from inside out. And perhaps one of the most important lessons of this transit is that emotional softness is not the opposite of strength. Sometimes it is the very thing that allows real strength to grow. I would love to hear if and how this resonates with you.